What up, War Room Nation? Welcome to episode 257 of the greatest podcast since Al Gore invented the internet. That's right, I know it's NBA Finals time, but it's always Broncos gang time. In this episode, we're joined by the homie Billy Beige of Brothers of the Watch as well as Operation Big Brother. He joins us all episode to talk about the NBA Finals and, everything else in the world of sports. We got a special call in from Fred Perdue of College Football Extra, who calls in and he talks about the College Football Hall of Fame and that process, and yes, he is a voting member. And we get a lot of phone calls, a lot of feedback about these NBA Finals, what it means for LeBron's legacy. Will the Warriors pull it out? Are you team light-skinned or team dark-skinned? But we talk about these NBA Finals in depth, so don't forget, you can leave your comment and let us know who you have winning the NBA Finals below. But listen, just sit back, relax, enjoy episode 257 of The War Room. Peace.
Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the hot block commander. How you want it in the 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level. Bold with the topics, sort of like some rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerate to speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4 for 26, so the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.
Yo, what up, sports fans, and what up to the WRS Nation? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you, of course, by War Room Sports on the WRS Podcast Network. I'm Jimmy the Blueprint, and I'm at the round table with my brothers B. Austin and Hank, a.k.a. Billy Beige from Brothers of the Watch and WRS Operation Big Brother. You've seen them all on our YouTube channel. The NBA Finals are here, and we're going to give our final pre-series analysis, as if we didn't do enough already. We're also here from Fred Perdue of College Football Extra and a whole lot more. So keep it locked right here. If you want to get in a live conversation, join us right now. And in 2 minutes, I'm going to open up this JW Philly Really chat room, which is at blogtalkradio.com/the War Room, or join us on Facebook or Twitter. That's at War Room Sports. You can also call us directly in about 40 minutes and give us your NBA Finals picks. We want to hear from everybody. Give us your picks. We're going to open up the Digital Extreme Technologies hotline in about 30 to 40 minutes, and that number is 323-410-0012. But before we get started, make sure, check out the War Room Sports Podcast Network and do that this week and every week. When we are not on here, you can visit warroomsports.com and you can click on that WRS Podcast Network tab, or you can listen to our show from the mobile app or iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud. We are everywhere. You'll find some of the best shows the web has to offer on our podcast network, such as The Broad Street Line with Roy and Chris, After Further Review with the Mayor, The Tissue and the Tape Hip-Hop Show with Phil and Savad, Sports Trap Radio with Brandon and Anthony, The Mad Scientist Sports Lab with Nick Ficarelli, and a whole lot more. You can also check our listings at fatsradio.com. That's PHATZradio.com. They air all of our sports shows from our network. For airtimes of all your favorite WRSPN shows, including the War Room, we come on a couple times per week over there. Shout out to Fats Radio. So, fellas, one of the greatest athletes in the world has just become Caitlyn on the cover of Vanity Fair. I have nothing at all to say because there's not really a story to me, but what do you gentlemen think about this?
Go ahead, Hank. Why don't you weigh in and talk to us about Caitlyn Jenner?
Oh man, shout out to Caitlyn. I'm gonna try not to, mess up any sort of, potential sponsors and things like that, because you got to be careful with what you say nowadays. People act like, you can't make fun of.
You are gay
because
yo,
they try to act like, like there's like this bubble now where you can't make fun of, a transgender person or something. But I feel like you should be able to make jokes about anybody in America. But I mean, I don't get the whole hype about, oh, she's so brave and, it's this great thing. I don't get why it's a sports story. Like Bruce Jenner hasn't been relevant as far as sports since the 70s. It's really a non-story to me. In some ways, I'm happy if it saves somebody's life, if it makes somebody that's going through the same thing feel like, it's okay to be who they are. but just due to the fact of the
Go ahead,
family
give us
from
that
and
PC
their
answer,
way
man.
of manipulating, their way of manipulating the media, it's all just them extending their brand and manipulating the media even more. So, whatever.
Listeners, Hank is a part of the WRSPN family that respects the political views of the community. This is a public. Yo, I'm just gonna go ahead and let my man Donald Sterling rock in response to Caitlyn Jenner.
I don't know if I say this. He acts so holy. I mean, he made love to every girl in every city in America, and he had AIDS. And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him. I hoped he could live and be well.
Yo,
I didn't criticize him. I could have. Is he an example for children?
Yo, is he an example for? Yo, Donald Sterling is a masterpiece without even trying at responding to topics like this, man. How do you feel about Caitlyn? Yo, Donald just let y'all know how I feel. Yo, I don't. Yo,
tell him why you mad, son.
That's all I got.
That's all you got, man. I thought you was going, have more to say, man. Like, yo, I really have nothing at all to say. I mean, my thing is,
shout out to Dwight Howard.
My thing is this, man. Listen, man. Yo, live your life, be who you are. I could care less, man. For me, the whole thing is
strong shoulders for a woman.
Why is it so big of a story? Like, and I understand, like Hank said, it could save someone's life. You know, but I saw a lot of people who were upset over that ESPY award. That's what pissed a lot of, sports fans off.
That
about ESPY award.
That was out of control, and I don't appreciate ESPN doing that. And hopefully we will have one of the friends of the War Room on, Mr. Sid Ziegler of Outsports. We rock with Sid pretty heavy, and he is the voice in a lot of ways, the voice of the LGBTQ community in sports. And so I'm interested in hearing his perspective. I'm sure that, in a lot of circles is pleasing, but yo, I don't see how that wins the Arthur Ashe Courage Award outside of, perhaps the lifestyle Arthur Ashe led. But yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, you took a shot.
I didn't get that. I did not get that.
Yo, I think it's
time. On the real, be awesome. When did you even know what the Arthur Ashe Courage Award was before yesterday?
I did, but only because I do this. So I'll go with where you're going with that line of questioning and say that if it weren't for what I do, I definitely would not have known.
No, but I do, because that's always the highlight of the ESPYs. Like with Stuart Scott, I think Stuart Scott won last year. And a lot of times that's the highlight of the
Stuart Scott won the Jimmy V Award.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Jimmy V Award
last year.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Michael
Well, guess
Sam
what? Hey, I guess I just proved your point. Then I don't know what it is because. All right. Well,
so, Michael Sam already opened up the gates for this award. So I mean, to me, I really don't care. I think it was ESPN striking while the iron was hot. That was a great ad for them for the ESPYs because nobody talks about that. So this was a great way for them to go ahead and get it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, guess what? We're talking about it. It's being talked about everywhere. And there's some people honestly of the opinion that there's no such thing as bad press. It's just press. Mm-hmm. And they've gotten a lot out of that nomination.
So what I'm going to do right here is say shout out and salute to New York rapper and Brooklyn representative Fabulous, because he said some very profound things in one of his recent Freestyle Friday raps. Attention has replaced money as the new root of all evil. Attention has replaced money as the root of all evil. And I kind of see this as one of those things. And it's not, honestly, if I'm going to go the Hank direction with this, and I'm going to be somewhat politically correct, but speak about this intellectually. So Bruce Jenner's choice to become a woman is entirely within his right. Like, yo, it's fine. But now for ESPN to come in and say that he represents a courageous athlete with all of the athletes out there, shout out to my man Noah Galloway, with all of the athletes out there that have shown courage, it's an insult, but like you just said, Jimmy, it's an attention grab. So it's kind of like, you know, the young ladies that are on their thirst trap joint on IG. ESPN realized that certain things move the needle, and this is one of those things. So on one side, it's sensational. It's sensational for the regular folks like us. We're going to talk about it. And then for those who have an agenda that's tied to the transgender community, they're going to rock with it because it brings their agenda to light and helps push a narrative forward that they've been pushing. So I don't, in that regard, I don't respect the play. I don't.
When you look at when you look at the whole clan, right? The Kardashians, that, you know, people say they don't even do anything. What's their talent? Their talent is basically getting attention. Yo, when you think about it, like they have found a way. I don't know what their secret sauce is. I mean, I know a little bit of what their secret sauce is, but and because the thing about it is
secret sauce.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's not just Kim. All of these chicks have a way of like garnering attention and keeping attention on them. So this falls in with that narrative in terms of what he's doing. I saw that his appearance fees have now went tenfold. He gets $100,000 to appear as Caitlyn at this point. So just for an appearance, he's charging $100K, which is 10 times what he was charging as Bruce. So Caitlyn is more valuable than Bruce. And, you know, at the end of the day, like you said,
and that's attention. Transgender, the LGBTQ community, whenever they come out, both literally and figuratively, from a novelty standpoint, they are more valuable than others, essentially, at this stage of society. So
ESPN was doing good business, basically, what it boils down to, because what I'm anxious to see is what the numbers will look like after the ESPYs. No one, like Hank said, no one really cares about the ESPYs, but I bet you a lot of people are going to watch this year for that reason.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because that might be the first time that he's at a public event, right? If he actually comes and accepts
and that's exactly it. So it's like B. Austin said, they striking while the iron is hot. They're going to get some good numbers out of this, and, you know, and then we'll be talking about it the following week. So with all that being said, man, there's a lot of stories to get to, man. Let's talk about some of the things that happened this week while you were on the grind. And while you were on the grind is brought to you by DirecTV. If you'd like a better TV experience than cable has to offer, including the NFL Sunday Ticket, go to our website, warroomsports.com. Click on that DirecTV logo and order a better TV experience at a discounted War Room Sports sign-up rate. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta have DirecTV. Now, it's time to talk about some of these stories that happened this week while you good people were out on the grind. First story, my guy, Swaggy P. He proposed to Iggy Azalea, the queen of hip-hop. Not, but anyway, that used to piss some people off. But what did you guys think about Swaggy P getting her that huge rock and proposing to her?
Good move for him. I mean, she helps extend his brand. She's kind of been falling off recently. She's been getting a lot of the backlash, not only from the hip hop community.
When was she ever on?
Yeah, you know, don't front Fancy.
I mean, she was big.
I'm pretty sure she made a couple M's off that Fancy song. But you know what's funny though?
It was a huge song.
What's funny is like the backlashes came and it actually worked against her. You know, you're a backlash against a lot of people, but sometimes it just doesn't matter that they have backlash. But I mean, there's a lot of Lil Wayne backlash, but the backlash for her really worked.
Exactly. She had to cancel her tour.
It's a different situation with her because, you know, shout out to Swiggy. That's the unification of those two individuals. It's now called Swiggy. But I think that hip hop is still at some level based on the perception, pseudo authenticity. And so at a certain level, like there's certain gimmick artists that can come along. Well, hear me out now. Certain gimmick artists can come along and they can rock and they can do well and they can go millions. Vanilla Ice is an example. Marky Mark is an example. You know, the list goes on of you know, not just white rappers, Soulja Boy, tell them like
Soulja
they're
Boy,
gimmicks. Yeah, they're gimmicks, and they can explode to the top, but it only can hold attention for so long because it's not what we perceive to be the authentic pieces of the culture. Now, I know where you're going, Jimmy, because 90% of these rappers that get in their music talking about keeping it real and talk about certain subject matter, which we don't have to touch on, but they'll talk, and they're not real. They're not doing, but the perception is that they are authentic because those things are associated with the culture. So there's nothing about her that really is authentic in terms of the association with the culture. So it's easy to see how the backlash would push her away, because even her core audience and core fans look to a certain demographic to tell them what is cool. And those influencers say that she's not cool. So it's only a matter of time before she falls off. She's a gimmick.
I hear you. But then when I look at like one of the biggest artists being a CO who's now who now is old favorites by one Noriega, it's kind of like, you know, hard for me to but I get your point though. But he's literally one of the biggest artists in the world.
He's perceived as something different than Swiggy. So, you know, but we talked all about her and not about him. I don't know how this is going to affect his game. Shout out to another brother that, you know, went the other way outside of his community with a woman that he completely couldn't relate to, doesn't look like his mother, doesn't look like his sister, doesn't look like his daughter, you know, because love is colorblind. Love is colorblind.
I read between those lines, and I'm gonna leave that alone right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yo, shout out.
Listen, another story which has a little bit of hip hop.
Snow bunnies, man.
Shout out to the Snow Bunnies. Like, we love you out there. WRS loves the Snow Bunnies. You know what I'm saying?
We love you.
word to James Harden. But listen though, another story which has a little hip hop, a little spin to it. Chantel Jackson, you know, Nelly's work. Well, Nelly's work now, she put Floyd's text proposal on display in legal documents in their case. You know, and it painted Floyd in a bad picture. I don't know if you guys saw this whole story, but yo, Floyd is a piece of work, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Did you guys see the story?
I'm trying to pull it up now.
Nice
you know what? I haven't
talk about fornicating with you and letting you suck my dick, because if I was eloquent with you, you would still look at me as a scumbag.
Yo, what is it with boxers? I know they get punched in the head a lot, but yo, boxers are just different, man. They different individuals, man. His pop got punched a lot, and that thing came through like through his birth. Like, he ain't got it all either, man.
Yo, Hank,
I was thinking maybe this was money. Yeah, I was thinking that this could be forged, but when I'm reading it, you know, it doesn't have a lot of spelling errors, but there's no punctuation. And I think, as we know, Floyd does have that problem with his fluency. So yeah, he wrote this. He wrote this. This is definitely him proposing via text message. But I think he just lives in a world where, like, he has so many people around him that are yes men, and there's no boundaries in what he can do. So to him, like, that's just what Floyd is supposed to do. Like,
yo, all right, how do you propose via text?
Like, I'm not humbling myself.
Now, how do you propose via text message, though? He couldn't send her a hangout, like FaceTime or something? Like,
nah, man.
Yo,
Floyd ain't getting down on his knee. Like,
hit her with a
she lucky he did that. Like they say, it's the thought that counts. Do you know how much time Floyd had to spend to write something like that via text message? That probably took him 3 days to write that, man.
Get a little lame.
Yo,
Murray can't eat little lamb.
All I'm saying is this, man. Like, I thought that one Jim Jones had the worst proposal I ever seen. I don't know if you guys watch Love and Hip Hop, but yo, he straight walked up on a chick and like gave it a ring. He just put the ring in her face, like, yo, we gonna do this. Like, that was his whole proposal. Yo, and Floyd beat that though.
Yeah, Floyd beat that, and my greatest and best recollection of Miss Jackson is watching her go to go to matches or be in the stands, and the camera catches all the glorious blessings from somewhere back in her genealogy, West Africa, although she looks like she bleaches consistently. I just gotta give her. But my man Floyd invested quite a bit of money. Not that he doesn't. I mean, he has it. He certainly has it. And I think that Floyd is, as Hank said, is under the impression that his financial ability to buy anyone allows him to just not work on character at all. Like, there's no character development.
I mean, but that's probably what he knows and was taught, that money is everything.
As the 5%ers, his name is Money. As the 5%ers would say, he's 85. He's a savage. So, I mean, this doesn't surprise me. This is typical. And now he's getting played out by,
let me ask you gentlemen something, man. Both of you gentlemen are married. I ain't trying to ruin no podcast groupies, but did you guys like do anything amazing when you proposed, or you just kept it basic? Because you see I saw a story out of John this week. I don't know if y'all saw that, when a dude, him and his chick was playing ball and he faked the injury. Mm-hmm. You saw that, John?
Yeah.
Although in that clip, she didn't even try to help him when he fell. Did y'all notice that? But anyway,
I heard that part.
But did y'all gentlemen do anything off the wall, or y'all just kept it basic?
Go ahead, Hank, and go ahead and ruin your image with the groupies that we have. I'll let you go first.
Nah, man, I kept it pretty basic. We did we had a little party on Christmas Eve, and I did it in front of the family and whatnot. But
you ain't sent no text, though, did you? No text message.
No. I argued with her the whole day, though. I got her mad first, and then I did it. So, I mean,
you playing psychological games. He playing psychological games.
That's mean. I essentially reached out. I reached out to Sir Richard Branson, and I don't know if you gentlemen noticed, but he's got space shuttles that you can charter to take them up to space and close in and circulate the moon, orbit the moon. And then I proposed to her by moonlight, and then brought her back down to Earth.
So that means he kept it basic, Hank. But anyway, man, let's
real basic.
Yeah, let's move on to the next story. My guy, Chris Gatling, who literally, I have to check this out, because between Chris Gatling and Orlando Woolridge, I don't know who played for more teams, but Chris Gatling was a guy
they got them all.
But Chris Gatling and Orlando Woolridge, they both used to put up numbers. Chris Gatling was like a 18-9, 20-10 guy, but he used to get traded every year. And shout out to Chris Gatling for getting dunked on by Sean Kemp and realizing that you got played, so you gave him a handshake. But he's in the news.
Chris Gatling wasn't even the small piece of a deal. He was like kind of the major piece of all those deals that he was moving around with. Like, he wasn't
but listen to these deals. He's involved in new deals these days.
Hold on, real quick, Jimmy. When you get through with this, we're going to speculate on why those deals occurred based on this new information. So go ahead.
Got you. All right. Now, Chris Gatling was named as a kingpin in a credit card scam. So he was, charging all kinds of bucks on credit cards that just weren't his. Got a chick involved and all that. What do you guys think about where Chris Gatling is now, considering a long career he had?
First and foremost, shout out to Leon from Money and Violence. You know what I mean? The original guy.
These young boys be wild.
Yo, you know what? Chris Gatling made a lot of money in his career. For him to be doing a credit card scam, something went wrong. But when you're doing that much traveling, that many living in that many cities, he probably got about 20, 25, kids out there. He's probably doing Sean Kemp numbers on the low, so that probably ate up his pockets a little bit. So that's my theory.
Got you. Be awesome. You must have a theory out here that you're working with. Let's hear it, good brother.
A theory, man. We have correspondence everywhere. So what I wanted to really lay down to you. One of the reasons why I believe that Chris Gatling was traded so many times was that management understood that he was running a 419 scam. Shout out to my Nigerians. He was running a 419 scam.
Yeah, 419
with these women, and it was interfering with his productivity at practice, but not so much that it affected his game. They were concerned about his influence on his teammates. And so as Chris was flying in, you know, young ladies from the western coast of Africa to run these moves on the banks and the credit and run the credit cards, management at the in these organizations got hip to it, and they would just move him on to the next team. He was always good enough to keep a job, and they could kind of run their own little scam by trading him. But yeah, he was running a game. He was running game on people from his time in the league. I'm telling you now. What's really sad about this is your man Chris Gatling. Let me look here at his salary. Yo, Chris Gatling made in a 10-year span $29,498,827 over 10 years. That's $2.9 million. That's $3 million a year.
Yeah, he did. But in the words of the great Chuck D, man, everybody can tell me how much money I made, but they can't tell me what my bills are. So, Chris Gatling, man, like, yo, get it together, man. You definitely are a JoJo nominee, as well as Floyd for the text proposal. He's also a JoJo nominee. But before we let JoJo sing to these gentlemen, there's one more story that I have to tell you, and that's Beard Gang, B. Austin's cousin, James Harden, was caught sleeping on IG, literally sleeping, as the young lady took Ussy. I don't want to call it a selfie because he was involved in it. So that's this, you know, the new word is Ussy. She took a Ussy with one James Harden knocked out. James Harden is a notorious trick. You know, I know, and that's your thing. That's your thing. But why does he always get caught sleeping though? Like, if that's what you're going to do, you got to be on your P's and Q's, beloved. What's going on with your man James Harden, yo?
James Harden has the abilities to be an all-time great at the game of basketball and really at the game of life. But there's too much of these newfangled dudes like DNA caught up in him. Like he'll show you flashes of brilliance and greatness, and then he does stuff like this. I don't know, man. Turnover, man. The one time he was supposed to get a turnover.
What does this guy do with his game, though? Just curious.
Yo, the one time he was supposed to turn over, he didn't turn over. He got all the turnovers in the game.
I saw that meme, but I'm just saying though, like, Hank, what's up with your man?
Yo, I mean, I just don't understand in this day and age why more people aren't taking the Derek Jeter route. Like, you need to collect the phones when they come into the house. You know, you need to provide rules and regulations to messing with these chicks. Like this, you can't get caught sleeping like this over and over. These dudes, they've seen the examples. They've seen what's going down. They got to be better at controlling their environment and their situations.
Yo, JJ Redick allegedly has like contracts. He collects phones. Like JJ Redick allegedly that is, like, has like a whole system in place when he gets, you know what I mean, does what he does.
Mm-hmm.
My man Derek Jeter could have been dating Caitlyn Jenner. We would never know.
Yo, Derek Jeter had a gift bag made up for his work. Like, Derek Jeter didn't even let him stay tonight. Like, yo, you got to roll. Nope. Yo, your man is out of pocket, man. With all that being said, man, the one thing that we have to say to all these gentlemen, and that includes James Harden, that includes Chris Gatling, we're going to leave Swaggy P out of this, man. We're not going to knock him, although B. Austin wants to knock him for, you know, doing what he did with the European and whatnot. But, got to give them JoJo awards out. We got to give some birthday shout outs, B. Austin, before we actually get to Fred Perdue wants to come on and talk about the new podcast he has coming up, as well as a little bit of college football. So who's having a birthday? I mean, I guess you could tell everybody what's going on in terms of the birthdays, good brother.
Absolutely. And before we get to these birthdays, we have to let you know that birthdays are brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. Do you or your business need a custom website? Well, for dynamic, professional, and most of all, affordable custom website solutions, you need Digital Extreme Technologies. No need to break the bank for an effective online presence. Top quality, results-driven websites at incredibly affordable prices. Financing options are available. Visit digitalextremetechnologies.com or call 267-205-4203. And for discounted rates, be sure and tell them your uncles over at War Room Sports sent you. And now to our birthdays.
It's my birthday! Yay!
Yes, sir. Tim Perry is 50 years of age.
Damn!
The X-Man McDaniel, I will knock you the F out, is 52. Al, the Dominican sensation Horford, is 29. Rafael Nadal is also 29. And Oz Hakeem from The Greatest Show on Turf is 38. These are your birthdays. We'd like to give a nice, big War Room salute to all of these brothers on their birthdays.
It's my birthday! Yay!
That's what's up. B. Austin, tell everybody how they can get in touch with us, and I'll make sure that Fred is ready to come on and, talk his talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Check out our website at warroomsports.com. While you're there, be sure and sign up for the War Report, our company newsletter. Click on the Contact Us tab to send us a message about our company, our show, or to inquire about sponsorship and advertising opportunities, or joining our network. For general inquiries, email us at info@warroomsports.com. While you're browsing the site, click on the Memorabilia tab to buy War Room Sports merchandise. Click on the Blog tab to read our latest articles in the All's Fair in Sports and War critically acclaimed blog. Then, click the respective icons and tabs to like our Facebook page, to follow us on Twitter, or to subscribe to our iTunes podcast, or to watch webcasts at War Room Sports TV. Yes, that's right. The brothers have a YouTube channel. We doing big things on TV. Listen to the War Room Sports podcast network, and also download free War Room Sports mobile apps to get everything I just mentioned on the go. Join the JW Philly Realty chat room right now during the show at blogtalkradio.com/the War Room. To enter the chat room, just sign up for a free profile on Blog Talk Radio. If you don't want to create an account, you can sign in through Facebook or Twitter. And while you're at it, click follow to get updates and reminders about the best sports radio podcast show in the universe. We'll be taking questions and reading posts from our Facebook, Twitter, and the chat room during the show. To call in and speak with us, dial the Digital Extreme Technologies hotline at 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. Shout out to the chat room. What's going on in there? What's going on Facebook?
Yo.
What's going on Twitter, Pinterest, IG, Meerkat, Periscope?
What's going on, Meerkat? Yeah, man. People just commenting on the birthdays you just read out, man. Tim Perry is 50 years old, man. That's crazy. But listen, though, we got to get into some hot topics, and we'll bring Fred on. But before we do, the hot topics are brought to you by Audible. Is your schedule too hectic to read as much as you want? Try audiobooks and kick back and let someone else do that reading for you. All you have to do is visit Audible and sign up, and that's at audibletrial.com/warroomsports. Remember, audibletrial.com/warroomsports. You get a free book on this trial, so try it out. Everyone knows I love Audible. I just finished a book this week called Confessions of an Economic Hitman, which was heavy. Got me a little bit pissed. And I'm almost, I got about 30 minutes left for another book. So actually I've knocked off 2 books this week called The Third Circle Theory. But as I always say to everyone, you get a free book. The greatest audiobook I've ever listened to / read was Mike Tyson's biography. So for those who have never tried Audible, just try it and get the Mike Tyson book, and you will thank me later. That's audibletrial.com War Room Sports. Before we jump into some of these hot topics, we do have our guest ready to come on. That's Fred Perdue. You've seen him on Field Vision with us. He's a frequent contributor to this podcast. He's from collegefootballextra.com. He's our college football and draft expert. Fred, how are you, sir?
Man, Fred ain't no man. Fred's family. Fred is family. He our dumb little brother, man.
Hey, Fred, man, you down there in Florida. What's the weather like down there, man?
Last time I checked, it was 84 and extremely hell outside.
Must be nice. All right, listen, Fred.
Scratch that. Make that 90 and hell outside.
Must be nice. Listen, Fred, you know you got to talk about this new podcast, but before you do, what's going on with this College Football Hall of Fame or something I'm hearing about?
Yes, the 2016 Hall of Fame ballot was dropped. Most recently, you have guys like Ray Lewis, Derek Brooks, Terrell Buckley, a couple of Florida guys, a couple coaches out there, a kicker, believe it or not, a kicker, Morton Anderson. A lot of the NFL greats are finally getting their chance to be on the College Football Hall of Fame. That's where they get their press first. It takes a long time to get there. They've opened up some standards. I actually have a chance to put a vote in, so can't wait to
shout out to you. Well, let me ask you a question, because I'm fairly ignorant when it comes to this College Football Hall of Fame thing. It's based strictly on your college production, right? So it has nothing to do with what you do after you leave college. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay, now, and how long does it have to be when you once you're out of college for you to be eligible to go into this Hall of Fame?
You have to be out of college at least 10 years to do so.
A 10-year period, okay.
Exactly. The College Football Hall of Fame is something really it's very wide open. It's much harder to get into than the NFL Hall of Fame because there's so many players, there's so many teams,
I was going to say
many guys that get in.
It has to be a logjam of players because you got guys that played like a guy like an Andre Ware who didn't play at like a big-time school, but in college, he was just as ill as anybody. So it's got to be difficult to get in there. All the names you said were guys who were also productive at the next level. That's what makes it interesting. I just want to see if they're going to give guys credit just for being great college players, like a Tim Tebow. We know he's not making the NFL Hall of Fame. Maybe I shouldn't say that. He's
I mean, you have a lot. You have a few
this year, maybe Super Bowl.
He's blessed and highly favored, so you never know. But in terms if we looked at his college career, though.
Yeah, Tebow is going to be a first ballot guy. I mean, Tebow, granted, I think there was another guy. He joined the SEC a little late that was a little better. His name's Johnny Manziel. He'll probably be there very soon. And that's just my opinion. Tebow he was the product of an offense that he had a bunch of first-round picks around him. Johnny Manziel really didn't. I mean, he had a really decent he had some good tackles, a good receiver, but can you really name anybody else on the defensive side?
But Fred,
because he had
the guys you named seem to have been out of college for like 20 years at this point. Like, why? Like, what's up with that? Is there any controversy surrounding the names that are up? Because when did Ray Lewis get out of college?
Ray Lewis went out in about 96, 97-ish.
So that's been a while. Damn near 20 years. So like, what took so long?
I have a name that you would really like, Jerome Brown.
Jerome Brown, the great Jerome Brown.
I mean, you have guys such as Randall Cunningham.
Bring it home.
You got guys like Randall Cunningham, Tom Consolnow, Kerry Collins of all people. Again, Morton Anderson, the great kicker.
Now,
I mean, you have Tim Couch, Eric Crouch, Heisman Trophy winners, big time guys. I mean,
how many guys get in during the course of 1 year? How many people get in?
You only get about 6 guys in, and then you get a coach or two here and there. It's a very small class, and quite honestly, to me it adds in. That's the mystique of it because you're voted on by a group, a media group, and when it's a little tougher because in the NFL, everyone they put everything on. Was he a good college guy? Was he a good guy off the field? Was he this? Was he that? I mean, how long has it taken? And then his name's escaping me. I had his name in my head right now. Chris Carter. How long did it take him? I mean, to even get consideration because he wasn't really great to the media off the field. I mean, it's very tough for him. So look at a guy like a Terrell Owens he's the same way. He was a bad offensive.
So basically, what you're saying is you have a vote and you do accept money orders. Is that what you're saying?
I know nothing of the sort. I know nothing of the sort, but I have a vote reserved for Ray. I will say I do have a vote reserved for Ray Lewis. Shout out to him. I did attend the same high school as Ray Lewis.
Bias.
And then he did go to the U.
Bias.
But other than besides being the great,
you are a voting member of the media, and you got to get rid of your bias, man. Cut that out, man.
There is no bias. He's one of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game, and it's also this class is also highlighted by two guys one that really was really great in the NFL, and one who really wasn't. Brian Urlacher, New Mexico, and Matt Leinart, USC. Matt Leinart, his career at USC was awesome, but his NFL career was not. It was really not.
So when will we hear who actually gets in? Like, when do we hear this?
It'll be closer towards the end to the season starting. You'll hear a little bit more. This is just the first cut. There's about 76 guys and a few coaches as well. But this is just the first cut. The first guys that are going to get in. A couple first time balloters are going to get in, and then you're going to have that cut go down, and it's going to go down. It's just a process. But quite honestly, it's going to be a great class. There's a lot of guys. If you want to view the full class, you can go to the National Football Foundation and you can see a full list of everyone that's involved. There's even some lower divisional HBCU guys that they're going to try to get in at another level. There's a level for everything.
Listen, man, my vote is for B. Austin, man. For those who don't know, B. Austin did play college football at HBCU. So now we got to start the campaign to get B. Austin in the College Football Hall of Fame, man. Let's start the movement now.
the thing I will say, the one guy, and I hate saying it because I can't stand Notre Dame, crush everything you do, fail at everything you do, Notre Dame, but Rocket Ismail, he might get my vote. He may get one.
He has to get it. In terms of college? Come on.
He may get one of my votes.
Yo, he was one of the greatest return men ever in college. Ever.
Yeah. He was one of the greatest college players. Like, anytime he touched a rock, you thought he was taking it to the house, regardless of whether it was in the receiving game, the return game. Anytime he touched a rock, he was a threat to go. But Fred, what's this I hear about this new podcast, man? Talk to me. What's good?
Well, we have the Eye on Sports podcast. I have a partner in this crime we're doing called sports. Rick Brown, former Lakeland Ledger and Tampa Bay Bucks beat writer, for helping me out here. He's going to be, you can catch him on Twitter at RickBrown91. He's always talking about the Bucks. He's got the inside on the Bucks and a lot of other teams. He's a great guy. I've actually been following his work since I was a kid. It's just an honor to be working with him because you never get to work with the guys that you see. It takes too long to get there based on age, but it's just going to be a real fun time. We're going to be actually throwing out a little little teaser just tomorrow. You can check that out. I'll be posting out some links on that on Twitter, and we'll be holding the shows on Mondays around 5:30. We'll be live, and you guys can check out the archives on that. We'll be covering everything. We'll be able to show my versatility. I'm going to show I can say if you want to call me a football player, they could call me, I don't know, Randall Cobb. I can do everything. So we're going to be doing baseball, basketball, football, soccer.
We shall see. Hey, man, but you said that he has the inside scoop on the Bucks, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, tell him to get with his quarterbacking. Like, tell him to get it together, man. Stop being out there getting played by these chicks in public, man. Because I know you saw what happened to Jameis and that young lady, Drea, really played his life away.
Yo, it's hard. It's hard to. There's no excuse for being a cornball and opening the door for a young lady of her profession. But James is probably not used to that type of action. The type of action he's been getting at Florida State has been of another type, and he saw that and lost his mind a little bit.
Yeah, what I really want to know is I want to know how his girlfriend / I don't know what she is. He calls her J-Boo, but I want to know what she feels, how she feels about all of this, especially after
she feels like the contract is signed and the money is coming. She's falling out.
the alleged rape and now this. I mean, how much more can you take? But are the dollars that good?
Listen, man.
And
Pause.
the crab leg.
It's a lot being pressed upon this guy. He's a young man. A lot of times we forget how young these athletes are. And, so he's dealing with a lot, man. He's growing up kind of before us. But I wish nothing but good things for him. So I'm looking forward to the podcast. You're going to have the inside scoop with the Bucks. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. And I want to hear Fred Perdue talk about soccer. So I'm definitely going to be tuned in, man. But Fred,
they're forcing me to watch it, man. I'm not really a soccer guy, but I'm going to have to do it. I mean,
all right, well, Fred, before we get you out of here, our first hot topic, before we get you out of here, I'm going to let you stay around and answer this because it's about FIFA. President Sepp Blatter, he resigns days after being reelected amidst the corruption scandal. So let's see how Fred responds to this. What do you think about this story, Fred? You're covering soccer now.
Well, I got put onto this probably about 4 years ago. There was a lot of corruption, and I said, no, this is a professional sport. This is a world professional sport. You just can't do. No, you can't. And 4 years later, that same person I talked to said, I told you so. And he's the controversy guy. He likes to throw out all these conspiracy theories. And I just couldn't go with it. But I think with him, it was a smart move because when in soccer where they do you may be missing after you miss a goal or you make a bad decision. You could pull a Tupac and just decide to fall off the face of the earth for the next 20 years and people feel like you're still alive. So that might have been the smartest decision he made. The FIFA, they need to get their together because the world loves soccer as much as we love football here. They love their football. They love their football.
And you know what? It's funny you say that because I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, and people always say, "Why are you always talking that conspiracy?" Well, first of all, the world without conspiracy theories is boring. So I love conspiracy theories because they make the world a better place. And most of the time they're true. But with that being said, Hank, what did you think about this? Him resigning after being reelected?
When he first got reelected, I figured they had already spoke to him, and they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to sit here and take these bullets and clean up this mess." So I thought it was all part of the deal for him to be reelected. It's just a corrupt organization. I think somewhere he probably had to get one last check as the president. He probably got that last check in, and he was like, "You know what? All right, I'm out now." So, it's not a shock. Nobody thought he was going to last to the next World Cup anyway. So,
well, B. Austin, what's your opinion on this story?
Well, first let's look at the claims. Let's look at the conspiracy. And for those of you that don't know, FIFA, as much as we clown soccer, no man should play a sport that doesn't involve his hands. Soccer is the world's leading sport at somewhere north of 50 billion in annual revenue. So none of this shocks me because of the types of revenue generated in the sport globally. I mean, it's the biggest sport on every continent. Think about that. Like it's the biggest sport on every populated continent: North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Australia. Well, maybe not Australia, but the majority of populated continents. So really, without going too deep into this, what this boils down to, and what really blew the lid off of this is the accusations, and what really looks like it's proving to be true. The accusations that countries were able to bribe FIFA officials into voting for and approving certain countries getting the World Cup. And then as you look down through the different ranks or levels of corruption, then you have the officials officiating the games being paid off, getting bribes to call games certain ways. But the biggest component of this is the countries who were awarded the 2018 and 2022 World Cup. Qatar won the I think the 2018 World Cup which means, you know, billions of dollars for their economy. But it was found when they did I guess the research or the report on the actual country, it would be too hot for people to play soccer in that country at that time of year. So it wouldn't really be a suitable location. But because of the bribes, alleged bribes that they put out there, they got the award over England. So of course, England, you know, being England and you know, the type of folks they are, how could you not award us this? And so they blew the lid on the conspiracy. And there was talk of, you know, how many, it wasn't just the Qataris that threw money on the table. Like, it's a common practice that these federations around the world will send through representatives through proxy, like bribes, like, yo, I want the, you know, I want World Cup. I'm gonna pay $2 million. I'm gonna pay $20 million. I'm gonna pay $10 million.
The bottom line is, man, that's how business works, man. That's how business works. My question was, what do you think about him resigning after being reelected? Though we know the whole scandal. That's how everything gets done, man. But what do you think about him?
It's a given. It's kind of a given, though, Jimmy. We don't even got to go into that from the simple standpoint of the bribes were so big and the conspiracy so big that how could he not be a part of it? There's no way you can have that much going on, that many million. Like, they're talking hundreds of millions of dollars from 1990 until now. So there's no way he didn't partake.
But listen,
he's not a part of that.
Let's move on, Fred. I do want to say this, Fred. That was your first test at soccer. You passed. We give you a passing grade. So we will be tuned in for your podcast coming up on Monday. But before you get out of here, give everyone your Twitter handle. Tell them about the podcast again. Do your commercial, good brother.
No problem, guys. By the way, before I do get into that, with all that being said in FIFA, they made Deflategate that big when you have that going on.
Oh, come on. Because the NFL is our thing. You know that.
There you go. There you go.
Damn Fred. Patriots fans.
Yo, Fred. Yo, go jump off a bridge with a cannonball tied to your feet.
But no, Fred, tell everybody about your new show and how they can get in touch with you.
All right, you guys can reach me personally at Purdue Sports on Twitter. You can reach Rick Brown at Rick Brown 91 on Twitter. You can reach me on reach the website College Football Extra on Twitter at CFB Extra, or you can go to collegefootballextra.com. For the podcast, we do have a Twitter. It is up and running. It is EOS Podcast. Easy, very simple. Also, we'll be showing up on Mondays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking everything, college football, NFL, soccer, hockey. I don't know about hockey. It may happen. But whatever sport it is, we cover it. Inside analysis, we'll have a lot of guests on. Might have some War Room guys on. Who knows? But you got to check it out. EOS Podcast on Twitter.
Yes, sir, man. And as always, man, thanks for your insight. Thanks for talking soccer with us, man. And, we'll see you here soon. Shout out to you, Fred, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Take it easy.
We got to get into these hot topics. We got to get to the hot topics. Jimmy, tell them about your favorite.
Listen, though.
Or did you already?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Calm down. We got that, man. Here's the next story I want to talk about. I want to talk about Cameron Newton. Cam Newton signed a 5-year, $103.8 million deal after having arguably his worst season. So my question is, I already know how B. Austin's about to go in, but I'm going to get Hank on the record. Hank, did Cam Newton deserve his bread? Because there's not like $60 million guaranteed.
Shout out to Killer Cam, man. Killer deserves that. I mean, to be honest, when you look at all the contracts that's being thrown around, Cam isn't on the Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. He's not at that level right there, but he's right below that. As far as the mobile quarterback, he has a great arm. When he's had weapons, he's been a really good quarterback. He's led that bum team into the playoffs. Cam deserves that money, man.
You shocked Jimmy to the point of silence. I'm a little disappointed in you, Hank Rollison. I have to be honest, Big Bang Hank. I'm a little shocked. I understand the nature of some of our listeners being black protectionists and loving to see the black quarterback win financially on the field, generally speaking, and even myself, from the perspective of athletes have a very short window to make as much money as possible. So sitting, from that perspective, I salute Cam and say, yo, if somebody offers to pay me way more than I'm worth to do my job, I'm gonna turn it down? Of course not. I'm gonna take $1 billion a year to talk my ish on my podcast. Am I worth $1 billion? Not really, more like half $500 million, but I'll take the extra $500 million. So that's the way that I look at it from his perspective. But when I compare his production, when I compare his lack of development, when I can look at his flaws and I look at that contract, they are out of line giving him that much money because what it does is it's going to set a market. Like, I blame ownership. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at Cam. I blame ownership for even entertaining something as utterly ridiculous as this contract. Like, this is outlandish to pay this guy that type of money.
Well, would he be mad at that? Well, listen, I just want to say that I understand where Hank is coming from. It's kind of like that's what the market is, not necessarily. I mean, who deserves their contract? I mean, does Sam Bradford deserve that amazing deal he got?
Hell no.
So it is what it is, man.
I'm not, but see, Jimmy, you know how we do, how we get down. Just because the next man gets it doesn't mean that we're gonna justify it with him. Like, no, does Sam Bradford deserve it? Hell no, he doesn't.
No. But my point is this. There's two different arguments always when we talk about whether someone deserves a contract. It's an argument about their production, how they play, and there's also an argument about the inflated market. These owners do this to themselves all the time and then get mad and want to have strikes and all kinds of stuff because they do this. So,
I agree.
So there's always two arguments here. We got a couple callers who want to talk some NBA, so hold on for 1 second because I want to get you guys' opinion on one more football story before we start talking about the NBA, and that's Adrian Peterson. He finally showed up to the Vikings workout. I mean, it's been a lot of beef going on between AP and the Vikings. So how good can this team be with him back in the lineup? I mean, is he going to be a distraction all season, or will things work out with him and Teddy Bridgewater? What do you guys think?
Nah, he's put them in a much better position. Adrian Peterson is a freak of nature. I don't think the running back laws apply to him. In fact, I know the running back laws don't apply to him, with him being able to heal from a torn up knee in 4 weeks, and then him being able to take off basically almost a season. So he's going to have fresh legs, fresh body. I see him going for the next 5 years, which would be a long time for a running back. 5 years and averaging probably 1,300 yards over that 5 years. So he's going to be a hell of a help to Teddy Bridgewater Jr.
Yeah, and also real quick about the last story, we got a Twitter at KCMac38 on Twitter says Cam money is going to be nothing compared to what Andrew Luck is about to get. Andrew Luck is about to break the bank.
Yeah, man. So, the price of the brick just
went up, man. Have to.
He said the price of the brick done went up. You already know. Before we get the callers on the line and talk a little bit of NBA, I have to get your opinion on Adrian Peterson, Hank. Do you think that he will be a distraction this season? I know what B. Austin's talking about in terms of what he's able to do, but with that team and how they're currently comprised with trying to make Bridgewater that guy, is he a fit right there or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just down with anything that keeps him away from the Cowboys. So, him staying in Minnesota is great.
Word.
I think somebody probably sat him down, let him know that, look, man, you need to spend a year rehabbing your image. You need to have a productive season, keep your mouth shut, and then you'll be able to figure out a new contract and go to another team. Because he was arguing from or he was trying to negotiate from a position where he had
position of weakness,
no leverage whatsoever. Yeah, no leverage whatsoever. So you know, he had to come in, report, and put up some numbers. So I think he's going to be motivated. I think, you know, Teddy Bridgewater, he's okay, but with Adrian Peterson there, that's all you really have to be. They have a pretty good defense. And if Adrian Peterson can produce the way that I think he can produce this year, they're going to be a good team.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, listen,
I agree.
We got some NBA stories to talk about. We got the finals getting ready to start. We also have Fred Hoiberg being hired. Let's get to the phone lines. We got a couple calls in the line. The first one being Rob calling all the way from California. Yay. Rob, what's going on?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man?
All right, man. How's the weather out there, Rob?
What up?
Woo, man. I got my day set up, man. As they said in the 70s, man, Hollywood swinging, man. Your boy's doing all right, man. So
you got them birds out there, them birds chirping?
Man, the birds chirping. Dude, man, forget birds, man. We doing pterodactyls, dude. We doing pterodactyls, and at night we got bats, man.
Whoa.
But anyways, yeah, call me Bat, man. But anyways, you know, I just want to give kudos. First of all, Hall of Shame, man. Hall of Shame goes out to the Tar Heels. I just wish nothing but the people who are involved with academic dishonesty. They should never work at anywhere. They should be banned from McDonald's. That's all I gotta say. It's just disgusting to me.
Some of the stuff that came out about the so-called educators over there was just like beyond belief. But also the students too, though, Rob. Dudes was getting like take-home open book tests where it's like 2 answers and 2 multiple choice questions, and they still weren't doing the work. Like, they still had somebody do it for them. So it's like, what was going over there in terms of academically was a joke. And that's why it's funny when people say, well, they get a free education. They don't take advantage of that. FOH.
You know what? And I think it happened when what's-his-name retired. Most of it happened when what's-his-name was retired at the end, but we'll see. Quick thing, shout out to Cam Newton for that contract. Hey, I remember out here, people were complaining when Phillip Rivers was talking a lot of crap that he should have a big contract before they had the rookie raise scale. And, you know, Phillip Rivers proved he's worth his money. And all I have to say, man, hey, man, being a quarterback, or saying who's an elite quarterback, being an elite quarterback is like a beauty contest. You can't be too short, you can't be too fat like Ben Roethlisberger. It doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? Whoever's preference. The NBA Finals is coming up. I can't wait to see, man. I can't wait. I want to see. Hey, it's going to be good. Klay Thompson, I heard, is better now, but we'll see. To be honest, I hate to say this, man. I think I got Cleveland in 7.
Okay. I mean, that means they're going to have to win on Golden State's home floor, so we shall see, man. Listen, Rob, man, we'll see what happens as the game starts tonight. Who you got in tonight's game?
Tonight's game? Tonight? Well, wait. What are they playing tonight?
Well, Golden State has the home court advantage. Yeah.
I've been busy.
Yeah, where they start is where they finish. Golden State has home court, so they'll start there and they will have to end there.
Golden State, shout out to the Bay Area, man. Best basketball fans I've ever seen in my life. Actually, you know what? I think LeBron's pumped up. I got LeBron. I got the Cavaliers over. I got the Cavaliers in Game 1. I mean, to me, this is like the pinnacle moment of LeBron's career right here. I agree. If he can win 2 or 3 more championships, we have to put him in that conversation of the greatest of all time. Yeah, well, people are going to say he played in the – huh?
Well, listen, all I want to say is 1 championship in Cleveland equals 3 anywhere else. But also, before we get you out of here, I just have to point out to the people that you're calling in from California and you're picking the Cavaliers, man. So your people are going to, really be upset at you, Rob.
I'm a Lakers fan, dude. And,
I respect it.
I'm a Lakers fan, but, I mean, hey, Bay Area, shout out to Bay Area, but hey, man, I think this is to me LeBron's team. This is like what they this is what he can show is either just true leadership. So,
but that can work. That can work one of two ways. It's his time to shine. But if he fails, oh my God. But Rob, listen, we got a couple more calls we got to get to.
Who's gonna guard him? Who's gonna guard him?
I mean, maybe no one. Maybe LeBron scores 40 a game and they shut everybody else down. I mean, just because LeBron gets his numbers doesn't mean they'll win. But listen, Rob, we got to go, man. Thanks for your call as always. Thanks for the support. We got a couple more calls to get to, but we got you. You say Cleveland in 7, man. Take it easy.
Peace.
All right, we got Richard calling and he wants to talk some basketball. Richard, what's going on?
Hello?
Richard.
Hi.
What's up?
Hi, Richard.
Hey. How's it going?
What's going on? What you want to talk about?
NBA tonight.
Who you got winning tonight?
Absolutely.
Richard?
Who you got winning?
You guys aren't gonna like this. I have the Warriors.
I mean, well,
no, I love it. I want the Warriors to win.
Most of us on the air have picked the Warriors. I picked Cleveland personally, but I know that everybody else has picked the Warriors. The Warriors are the favorite to win this series, by the way. People don't realize that the Warriors are favorite. They're the favorite going into this series. So, how do you see the series playing out, Rich? You see the Warriors winning the whole series?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many games it's gonna last. I think it'll go all 7 though. I don't think it'll be a blowout or a sweep.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I'm hoping it's not. The actual conference finals were so bad that I'm hoping we get a great finals.
Yeah. I mean, with all like the Clippers and like the Clippers and Spurs, like this year was great, but then we got to the conference finals and then it just like
it was terrible.
Went by so
it was
quick.
Terrible, right? All right, yeah, man. So listen, you got Golden State winning the series. You got Golden State tonight. We shall see. Richard, do us a favor. Make sure you check back in with us next week so we can see what's going on in the series. And we got you on the record as saying Golden State wins.
All right. Wait, one second. I got one more. Did you see Steph Curry's like little rap he did at Davidson? He did like I love the Commons or something. It was garbage though. But you should check it out. I mean, I don't know. I think Riley Curry will hold up. I think she's talking mad crap to LeBron. And then,
man.
One more thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Gentlemen, thanks for your call, Richard. We appreciate it.
All right, Rich, take it easy. We got another caller on the line. We got the homie Tobias, Roll Damn Tide, Chicago Bulls fan who's probably still pissed that his Bulls are gone. Tobias, what's going on?
What's going on, people? Hey, all I got to say is that I'm afraid to ask where the white women at because Bruce Jenner may show up and say, "Hey, he ain't gonna do it." But don't worry. But anyway,
yet again, shout out to the Snow Bunnies, man.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. A lot like Chris Broussard, who's LeBron's biggest Richard Rider, his sources is going to pick LeBron against Jesus and the Apostles or Apocalypse against the Four Horsemen. It's going 5. The House Negroes will beat the Field Negroes in 5. Let's just keep it real. Let's just be honest here. Here's something that people aren't bringing up. You are not going to be able to hide LeBron and Kyrie on defense. They're going to have to play defense now. I don't know who the hell played for the Hawks, and you know how I felt about Joakim Noah and Kirk Howard and Taj Gibson out there taking up space. They're going to have to play defense. Who is Kyrie going to guard?
LeBron ain't got no problem playing D. It's Kyrie that never really mastered that part of the game.
Yeah, it ain't about LeBron being bad on D. It's that he has to spend all the energy on defense now. Also,
Tobias, it's hilarious hearing you disrespect your Chicago Bulls players because I remember before the series was starting, you was like, "We want Cleveland, bring Cleveland, we got you." You was talking real filthy. Now all of a sudden, they ain't Heinrich, they ain't this out there. Like you disrespecting your own players now, B.
You know me. I've always been an honest fan. Remember now, I was killing Blake Sims. Everybody was giving him props to Alabama. I said, no, the dude sucks. And I said all year, I like my team. But I said Derrick Rose got to be aggressive. And Tom Thibodeau loves those useless players because he trusts them. And look what happened. Now, but see, here's the issue, though, also. When LeBron loses this series, we know the excuse is going to come out. Man, Kyrie was hurt. Kevin Love was out. So what do people want? Are they going to say he's the greatest ever, or are they going to keep making excuses for him? Because I have yet to see a superstar get so many excuses made for him when his team loses. It's always everybody else's fault. You know,
it is what it is, man. I mean, LeBron is a polarizing figure. You're going to have those that are Richard Riders. You're going to have those that extremely hate him, and both of them are, just as bad as the other one. I mean, the same thing goes for Kobe or whoever is that guy at that time.
Tobias is on
listen.
Kobe got killed.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Kobe got killed. Kobe got killed, but Kobe also had the same people that were riding for him, regardless of whatever it is. There was people out there that was willing to take his case for him.
They all do. You're right. They all have those sycophants. Sycophants are around for every star, but LeBron gets excuses, my G. Like, yo, shout out to Tobias for calling it what it is.
I'm not saying that he doesn't get excuses, but I also know when you're that guy, that's just the way it is. I remember when the Pistons and the Celtics were beating the Bulls. Mike would score 60 points and shoot his team out of the games, and people will make excuses for Mike. I mean, that's just part of what it is.
I don't think you can score 60 and shoot somebody out, though.
No. What I'm talking about, because back then is kind of people took the same approach that I think they should take with Cleveland. Yo, go get your numbers. As long as nobody else kills us, you can get your 50, 40, 60, whatever it may be. Now, the thing about, and we'll get into this later in terms of which strategies each team will use. But my whole point is, when you are that guy, you're going to get excuses. You're going to, that comes with it.
But you're acting like some of this isn't warranted. Like, it's not about the excuses. It's about the fact that some of this stuff that LeBron does it's warranted. Like, it's warranted criticism. It's not, and the sycophants make excuses for it. Yo, there's no excuses.
But my point is this, though. There was some of the criticism that a Kobe would get. Some of the criticism that Shaq got were all warranted. That's part.
You know what, though? You know the problem is, though. For example, remember everybody blamed Chris Bosh last year. Chris Bosh changed his game to fit in with that team, and everybody want to blame him. He wasn't playing his game for 4 years. Now he playing his game again. We see what he does, what he could do on the court. But I'm not saying LeBron's a bad player.
We see his ass in the playoffs either. But that's either here nor there, man. My thing is this. We'll see what happens this series. My whole point is, I understand both sides of it. I'm not a LeBron James Richard Rider, nor am I a LeBron James hater. I fall somewhere in the middle. But I see on both sides how crazy it can be. Some of the hate LeBron gets is hilarious, but also some of the Richard riding he gets is just as hilarious. But I know for a fact it was like that with every player. Yo, I know dudes was like ready to go to Colorado and take Kobe's case for him. They're like, I take that for you.
We not, but that's not the point. The point that's being made is not that these other folks didn't have sycophants, Richard Riders. The point is, LeBron gets more excuses than they've gotten. LeBron has more.
I don't even know about that either, though, B. I don't even know about that. I mean, because I've seen people get excuses. I've seen people get warranted criticism, and that's with everybody. That comes with being that guy. That's just what it is. When LeBron James is long gone and Andrew Wiggins is the face of the league, it's going to be the same way. The fact of the matter is now we have more access to people because of social media.
Exactly.
So we see we see all this BS. This BS has been always going on.
LeBron is the first superstar that was completely, his whole career has been in the 24-hour news cycle, the social media era where everybody can give their opinion on every single thing. So those excuses were still being given for those other players, but you didn't hear those excuses as loudly as you hear the excuses that you get for LeBron now. But he also gets the criticism, I would say, more than any other player that at his level before him.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Hank, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not a Kobe Bryant fan. I've never in my life seen any criticism that Kobe Bryant gets. I've never seen it.
What about
I've
for
never
being
seen a guy.
What about for being a ball hog, being a gun? All
5
the years
rings.
where they talk about he didn't know how to play, he didn't know how to pass.
No,
the ball.
but you said you didn't see
the
criticism.
Kobe thing went down during the Twitter era, or during the blog era. Like, come on,
Kobe's
that
not
would've been the
likable.
craziest story ever.
If that would have went down, if the Shaq and Kobe thing went down when Kobe snitched on him and we had social media, the memes that would have came out,
Tobias just brought up a huge point that goes overlooked. Kobe's way more polarizing. LeBron, not only does LeBron need to be liked, but psychologically, that's how his makeup. He's a guy whose image is based on being relatable, and that colors the public opinion. Hence the reason there are so many excuses. Kobe Bryant doesn't give a F. He's not a likable guy.
That
Michael Jordan really wasn't a likable guy.
But that has nothing to do. No.
That has nothing to do with shaping.
What I'm talking about is the whole thing with the excuses, the whole thing with the criticism, the whole thing with the Richard writing.
People make excuses for those they like, Jimmy. Just like your man Jordan. Jordan has.
Can I bring up something?
And have
Jordan's Richard writers are worse than LeBron's Richard writers. Let's not fake the funk now. Jordan's Richard writers are worse than like LeBron's.
But Jordan has way more accomplishment though. He's accomplished way more.
So far.
Can I bring up something though? I'll say, I know I get other people. 2 things. I'm not gonna hate on LeBron for the role he had to take in the East. He could control who the other teams were in the East. But I'll say this about him. I respect him as a player. I can't stand his guts because I'm a Bulls fan. You know how that is. But how come he gets to play ISO ball, hold the ball, dribble it out, but everyone else who does it gets killed?
Because his coach was coaching in the YMCA last year.
He did it with Spoelstra. He did it with everybody else.
And by the way, B. Austin will share any LeBron slander that comes down on our phone lines. Anything slandering LeBron, B. Austin will share. I just think that LeBron is just along the lines of all the other players when it was their time. I think that Michael Jordan fans are worse than LeBron fans by far.
We don't have time. We don't have time to go too far into this, Jimmy.
All right, Tobias, thanks for the call.
Tobias. We appreciate you. But you have conveniently you're switching it up a little bit because the same things you're saying about Mike, like Mike, we acknowledge Mike had a machine behind him because he wasn't a likable person, but they made him out to be something that he really wasn't from a personality standpoint. LeBron's personality is featured. They feature his personality because he demands to be liked. So that's all a matter of like he's not Mike for one. Okay, let's just put that out. He's not Mike from a personality standpoint. Right.
But times have changed. He couldn't be Mike in this day and age. He just couldn't. I mean, he's a different guy in a different time.
Exactly. If he was walking around punching teammates, gambling all the time, cussing people out, like it would be terrible for his brand. So I mean, I think LeBron probably is a nice person. But I think a lot of it also is that he's been coached so well since he was 15, 16 years old on this is what you have to do to be a superstar.
That's true. He's following. Part of the reason why LeBron is who he is because of Mike. He had the ability to sit back and see what Mike did right and wrong, what AI did right and wrong, what Kobe did right and wrong. And, he's the next guy up, and he's not going to make the same mistakes. Because he can't be that guy.
But I don't think when you talk about Kobe and AI, I don't think it was even so much a mistake. They were those dudes are incapable of insincerity or disingenuous.
Come on, man. Kobe's first 8 years, he was phony.
Not because of some great character that they have. They're not gonna go out of the way because they don't care that much about what people think, obviously.
So you didn't see the beginning of Kobe's career. You didn't see the beginning of Kobe's career when he was just as phony as LeBron. And then what happened was everybody turned their back on him. He started getting jail tattoos and changed up.
Yeah, that's true. but I'm not going to hold a 17-year-old to the same standard as a 30-year-old. Yo, come on, dude. We really going to say 17-year-old Kobe, 18-year-old Kobe is the same as 25. We won't even say 30-year-old LeBron, 25-year-old LeBron.
Yeah, but Kobe wasn't.
When did Kobe catch that case? When did
Kobe didn't catch that? Kobe didn't catch that case in 17. Kobe didn't change when he caught the case.
He embraced the villain role. When he caught the case, he finally chased Shaq out of
he had already won 3 chips by then. What are you talking about? He had won 3 chips by that time. He had won 3 chips being phony. Let's not get it twisted. Then he became. Then he was like, F it. Then he stopped caring what people think. Before that, he definitely cared about what people thought.
Well, we've seen LeBron care about what people thought for 12 years.
Hey, because listen, he followed the blueprint laid down by Michael, by Magic, by Kobe. LeBron is the next, and the next iteration is going to be after him by Nike. Nike learned along the way as well. But listen, we got another call on the line, though. Listen, man.
Stat of the week, man.
Hold on. We got Casey Mack on the line as well, who wants to come in and chop it up with us. Casey Mack, what's going on?
What's going on, JW?
You know, man.
Up to Biden and got my blood pressure.
Good.
Hey, first of all, LeBron, and I'm gonna go ahead and be a little apologist. LeBron, for one thing, he did not have the blueprint that Kobe had. Kobe was coddled. He had veterans. He had winners around him. He had the best coach of all time. Everybody called him. LeBron didn't have nobody. He had Mr. Potato Head, Mike Brown as coach, and nothing. Now, and he did all this stuff, and he turned out right. He turned out okay. Yeah. He made some mistakes. He whined, but you know what? He didn't have that veteran Shaq to sit here and say, "Hey, man, that's not how you act. That's not how you be a professional." He didn't have it. Everything LeBron has done, he has learned on the fly. He didn't have that big brother like Kobe. Kobe had a lot of support. Rick Fox. He had Ron Harper. He had all them guys.
But you know what? Casey Mack, I get the point you're trying to make, but here's the problem with that. I blame the ownership of the team for that. I know that Barkley was talking about this, how back in those days there were like literally spots left on rosters for veterans to come in and kind of do that. He said Moses Malone was that guy for him, who told him how to be a professional, how to like spend his money, the right way to do things. But as time goes on, they stop keeping roster spots for those guys because they want to keep someone who has a little bit of potential. A 17-year-old dude from like Ireland or Switzerland or Ghana on their team who may never play, as opposed to keeping that veteran presence. So LeBron didn't have that, but it's kind of the Cavaliers' fault.
But you know what? LeBron didn't have that until Dwayne Wade. He didn't have that till Dwayne Wade showed up.
No, I mean I wouldn't say that because remember he also did have Shaq there. He had a couple. He had Antoine James. They brought in some veterans to try to give him that, but at that point it was already his team and he was doing his thing. I get your point, but you got to look at the big picture. The big picture is that was Cleveland's fault. You can't blame Kobe for the Lakers running their organization. The Lakers were running the organization the way it should be ran.
Oh, he also had Jerry West. Let's don't forget about him. Now,
that's the point.
On to the finals. I'm going to be a homer. I mean, I don't have a dollar fight. Mavericks are in there. But I'm going with LeBron. I'm going with Cleveland Cavaliers in 5. LeBron's on a mission. He's a man on a mission. Going home. This going home crap is coming. I've never seen LeBron this focused. Now, he's going to show up to play, and his team's going to go to play. Shopper's going to be Steph Curry. And I'm sorry. Golden State's not shooting 60% from the field this series. Everybody want to go for how wonderful Golden State was. Golden State, Houston's crap on defense. They don't have any perimeter defense, and it showed because Curry and Thompson kicked some butt. Now, you're going to have Tristan Thompson rebounding, going to take away majority of these offensive rebounds that Golden State been getting. That's how they kill you. They get the rebound and open threes. There won't be no open threes this series. It's going to be a short series. This series reminded me of the first Oklahoma City Miami when I thought that Durant was going to. Yes, sir.
Okay, Matt. Let me ask you a question. So what you're saying is that Golden State gets open threes. So we've seen Steph Curry make his career, or this year rather, this MVP year, off of open threes.
No. What I'm saying is, no one has ever. I mean, no NBA team has ever won the championship as a jump shooting team.
I mean, I hear you with that cliche. I hear you with that cliche. That's a fallacy. That's a fallacy because they're not just a jump shooting team.
What's funny about that is I don't know. I mean, I haven't really done the research to say that's true, and I also agree with what B. Austin said that that's a fallacy in terms of them being a jump shooting team. But I know 2 weeks ago people were saying no team has ever made the NBA Finals as a jump shooting team. Like that's what it was 2 weeks ago. But we also live in a different day and age, man, where the 3-point shot is so powerful in today's game. This is a different game. Like people fail to realize the game that's being played isn't the same game that was played in 1981. It's just not.
You know. As I say that, my Mavericks didn't have a low post game either, and they won NBA. So I guess I'm a hypocrite. I just made that up now.
Oh wait a minute! Wait to admit that. You get credit for that.
They had a mid post. They didn't have a low post, but they had a post up player. And the other thing with that is like, the Warriors get to the cup. They get to the cup, and they do have a post up presence. So it's not a dominant throw the ball into him every possession.
Who's Cleveland's low post presence?
LeBron James.
LeBron
don't hold up. What I say? This is why I say it. Tristan Thompson, he's a guard, man. He gets his points off of maybe an alley-oop or a putback. Mark's got to, he might get a rebound, putback. If he does shoot, you see him shoot about 10, 15 foot double. Only person's in the paint for LeBron.
I mean,
he's in the paint because he's driving to the rack. He's not posting up. LeBron doesn't post up.
I'm just saying, but no one on that team besides LeBron is going to be in the paint.
But here's my point, Casey Mack.
We may see Steph Curry post up more than LeBron.
The one flaw in LeBron's game, if there is any flaw, is the fact that he doesn't have like a post game. He just doesn't have one. So Cleveland doesn't have a post presence either. But we got your pick on the record though. On the record, you're saying Cleveland in 5.
Cleveland 5, and as I say this, LeBron also is the only superstar that seems to be having teammates. His number 2, number 3 always hurt him to the field. Everybody else seems like they're always healthy. Always, having to do more.
We also got you on record. K-Mac, saying that LeBron has post game. So for whatever that's.
Well, we just had this long argument about the LeBron apologist not really being that bad. You making us look bad. You picking up every apology in the book.
If he's shooting them damn threes, 17% from the field, they're gonna get swept. LeBron gonna have to get inside that paint. That's all I'm saying.
Listen,
can't
man.
Go in the paint if you ain't got paint game.
Casey Mack, thanks for the call. We got you on the record, Cleveland in 5. Now remember, you got to follow up with us. If it doesn't happen, you got to follow up with us and talk to us because even if Cleveland wins the series, I just can't see it in 5. Like I just can't. Like even if they do win, but we'll see, man. But Casey Mack, thanks for the call, homie. Keep listening. Keep hit us up on Twitter and whatnot, and check back in with us next week.
Go in the game.
All right, take it easy.
Mac. Salute.
Listen, man. Before we jump back into the finals, real quick, the Chicago Bulls just hired Fred Hoiberg, the great Iowa State player Fred Hoiberg, after getting rid of Tibbs. What do you guys think about this hire? Is it a good hire or no?
It's a good hire. It's a good hire. I just don't like the way they did Tibbs. And when I say I don't like the way they did him, that's not to say that it wasn't time for them to part ways, but they didn't have to slander that man in the media the way that they did based on personal animosity.
Why were they going like that? Even the press conference to say they were getting rid of him was brutal.
And see, if I'm Fred Hoiberg, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, dang, they just did Tibbs like that. I know they gave me 5 years, $25 million, but I hope it doesn't come to that with me. Don't feel too bad for Tibbs though, because they had to buy him out for $9 million, so they got to pay the rest of his contract out. But Hoiberg, good hire. how is that going to change the offense? More importantly, how is that going to change personnel-wise? Are they going to be able to retain Jimmy Butler? I am the captain now, or is he gone? Is he going to skate to the Lakers? You know, what is Hoiberg doing to hold that core team together, or does he want to? Are they going to rebuild? Are they getting rid of Noah? Those are my questions. What type of offense is he going to install?
Yeah, we shall see. What about you, Hank? You got any thoughts about this Fred Hoiberg hire?
Yeah, man, good hire. It was definitely time for them to hear a new voice. It's been a while since Tibbs has been there, and from all accounts, he really wore on the team, wore on management. I think that's why they gave him that little kick in the butt on the way out. He was beefing with management throughout these past couple of years. So, it was dirty. I agree with you, B. Austin, that if I'm Hoiberg, I know that when I go, I'm probably going to get the same treatment. Same thing that Phil Jackson got when he left the Bulls. So
yeah, good
what
point.
They do
good
when
point.
they break up with people.
Hank, yeah, that's what I was going. That's a good point because they always do that to people. Like Chicago has a history of that.
Vinny Del Negro, they treated him like trash. I mean, he took him to the playoffs. They kicked him out and talked about him, called him dumb. I mean, so that's how they treat their coaches going out the door.
One thing I find,
but I mean, Hoiberg, I think will be good. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say the one thing I find interesting is that there's new faces within the coaching ranks. Like I remember years past, they were just like the same guys were just being recycled through city after city. Like guys, like I swear Don Nelson coached everywhere, and you would hear about who's another one of those guys? Alvin Gentry would get a job.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Mike Brown. Mike Brown.
Paid by two people right now. Like that's what I'm saying. Like usually the coaching ranks used to be so close that they wouldn't do anything. Now, like the new wave is getting guys straight from the broadcast booth, whether it be Steve Kerr or Mark Jackson, and so you see new faces within the coaching ranks because they were just like PJ Carlissimo, guys who just coach every damn where, and they would just have like closed ranks. But you see new faces getting in there, so that's one thing. But you both of you guys are absolutely correct. Chicago needs to chill with that. Like, who would want to work for you? At some point, no one's going to want to work for you. Like, you're not going to get the top level guys. I guess they are like Floyd. Like B also said earlier, it's all about that bread. We don't care. We can talk greasy because when the check get on the table, they're going to come take this job anyway.
They hired Hoiberg through a text.
You want this job or no? Listen, though, we're getting ready to jump into some finals talk for the rest of this program, but I have a quick stat for you, which is our WRS stat of the week. The Cavaliers roster has 18 combined finals appearances, and the Golden State Warriors have 0. So how important is experience when that ball is thrown up in the NBA Finals? How much, does what they went through this past playoffs matter, or overall experience always kicks in?
Overall experience is vital, but I think there's some context that needs to be added to that conversation. So LeBron has tons of playoff experience, and more importantly, tons of finals experience because he's been to 5 and he's lost 3, and he's won 2. So LeBron has that experience as a starter. But when you look at their starters and their core players, we're not talking Mike Miller. We're not talking James Jones. How much finals experience does Kyrie Irving have? How much finals experience does J.R. Smith have? How much finals experience does Tristan Thompson have? Mozgov. Some of these other guys, are you depending on the depth on the bench? Are we going to get a Kendrick Perkins sighting? Are we going to get a Brendan Haywood sighting? And how vital are they? And how do they match up with what's on the Warriors bench? So I think you have to, it can't be looked at in a vacuum. Context has to be added and look at the key players on each team and what experience they have. Not just, they have this experience on the squad.
Great point.
That's a great point. That's a great
point. Go ahead, Hank.
I was just going to say that both of these teams kind of broke the mold where typically you have a team where they make it to the playoffs one year, then they go to the second round, then they go to the conference finals, then they go to the finals and lose. So these teams have both kind of skipped a couple of steps. They don't have that experience in the finals. But like you said, LeBron has it, but besides that, nobody that contributes on the Cavs has real finals experience. And I don't know if, Mike Miller sitting on the bench telling them about all the times he's been in the finals is actually going to help, J.R. Smith.
I remember that one time, but you know what? That's a great point, gentlemen. That's a great point. It's funny.
You know what's funny about Mike Miller, though? And it's funny that you bring that particular name up. Mike Miller, we have seen in Miami where he didn't play most of the season, and he needed a backiotomy. One leg was shorter than
the doctor said he need a backiotomy.
He comes in the game and scores like 25 and bails out the Heat, and he's the reason they have one of the rings. Like one of those games, he went crazy.
Hank, I don't know if you picked this up thus far.
But is that going to happen again? LeBron James is the greatest player in the world.
LeBron James slander is the greatest.
LeBron James is the greatest player in the world.
He gave his ring right to Mike Miller.
He said Mike Miller had 25. He said Mike Miller's the reason he won the championship because he won 1 game. That's 1 game in the series, B.
That was a closeout game.
That was game 6, though. They stole the game after that.
They wouldn't have played in game 7 if it wouldn't have been for Mike. Come on, don't do it.
Listen, the one thing I want to say, man, about this.
James Jones has a lot of experience, too.
As a matter of fact, B. Austin, tell everybody real quick how they get in touch with us, and then we're going to jump into the rest of our finals talk.
Word. Listen, everybody tuned in right now. Make sure you check out our website at warroomsports.com. to call in and speak with us about any of today's topics, which in particular right now, really all you want to talk about is the NBA Finals 2015. Steph Curry versus LeBron James, J.R. Smith and Kyrie Irving versus Clay and Draymond. Dial the Digital Extreme Technologies hotline at 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. It's like raising your hand in the class, and one of the teachers will call on you. If you're already listening from your phone, just press 1, and if you want to talk, we'll get with you.
All right, in our NBA talk, the rest of our show is all about this finals, and that's brought to you by Fanatics. For the best in your favorite team's merchandise and apparel, shop Fanatics, and that's easy. Go to warroomsports.com. Click on that Fanatics logo, which is on our main page, or go to our sponsors page. We got a lot of great treats coming up this upcoming week from Fanatics, so be on the lookout for that on all of our social media platforms. We'd like to thank Fanatics for their support of the War Room. You can go there and get NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and NCAA gear and more. You can go get you a Mike Miller jersey from Fanatics. So there's a lot of things you can do with Fanatics. And like I said, this upcoming week, just want to say it one more time, be on the lookout for some of our specials that are coming with Fanatics. It's time to get into our basketball talk. Gentlemen, we have to finish this out for the rest of this show, talking about the upcoming NBA Finals. Before we do that, we have a caller on the line. We have Jonathan Sanders, aka RG4, calling. Let's get him on the air and see what he thinks about.
Mushroom head.
John, what's going on? How are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm loving life. Sorry, here for a while. I've been hanging with Kobe, and
You've been chasing white girls, huh? What?
Well, I was going to call her. I hear y'all talking about basketball, and I just want to give you my little 2 cents. Go ahead and give the title Golden State.
Damn.
Word.
Give the title Golden State. I see them doing it in 5 or 6.
So basically,
5 possibly, but I think they're more like 6 because LeBron's going to be a role for 2 games, but he can't do it.
So you basically you team light skin. That's what you're saying. You team light skin. I got you.
Well, no, I looked at. I was asked this question the other day, and I looked at the defense. I don't see LeBron and them Cleveland being able to penetrate Golden State defense too much, and then on top of that,
they got Shumpert.
I don't see nobody can cover Curry as well, and Curry's going to be when Curry's wide open. Or even if they do double up on Curry, you still got Thompson to worry about. And then there's another player, I can't think of his name, that's just as effective too. He's going to put who could put 10 to 15 points up and grab 10 boards. So
last time I saw Thompson, he had blood coming out his ear. So, you know, I don't know how effective he can be.
No, he'll be fine. He'll step up.
Okay.
And let's not forget, too, LeBron, everyone's talking about he's been ineffective.
I mean,
People fail to realize
Jonathan,
LeBron was hurt.
Did you check Clay's ear? Were you looking in Clay's ear? You checked his ear out or something?
No, you don't have to.
Well, you guys are great at good stuff, but I think Clay will be okay because if it was that bad, I don't think the NBA is going to push it, especially with all the concussion stuff going on around the sports world. I don't think the NBA would let the man go on the court.
Tell that to the NFL. Anyway, man.
They let RG3 go on.
Well, that was that's another story.
Listen, well, you know what though, John? We got you on a record. You said Golden State in 5 or 6, right? Or 4 or 5? You said which one you said?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say Golden State in 6.
Okay, 6. Got you. So they're gonna win on Cleveland.
I think LeBron's gonna give them 2 games or so. But you know, I can't try and make it LeBron's only guy, but he's the only guy. Kyle Irving or whatever. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving.
Shout out to Kyle.
Now, for Cleveland to win, he's gonna have to step up. And I just don't.
His knee is hurt.
I don't think.
Listen, just call him Uncle Drew. Let's call him Uncle Drew. I think Kyrie Irving's been faking his injury.
Here's the other reason why I got in here too. Just real quick. This is the only real question I want to ask. Because you know, but being a Lakers fan, I was hoping we could get Kevin Love. But obviously that ain't happening. Kevin Love.
No, we don't want Kevin Love, yo. We don't want Kevin Love in LA. Leave him be.
That's what I was gonna say. Damn. Now, what didn't him and LeBron have a problem earlier in the year?
I don't know whether they had a problem, but I know that he's never really fit in. If you notice when he's injured, he hasn't sat on the bench. He hasn't been anywhere around the team, so it's kind of evident to me.
No, in all fairness, he couldn't travel until just recently though. So he was there
how
when
recently?
They got until I think the last game that they played.
Because he kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth once that happened. Like, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, because he had the surgery. Remember?
Well, he's went on record and said he wants to come back.
Come out on record, saying he wants to come back to Cleveland. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, he said he's coming back. He's playing for Cleveland.
But does Cleveland want him?
Yeah, he's gonna be coming off the bench. Word to Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff Van Gundy said he got to come off the bench now, yo.
Word to Tristan.
Wow.
No, word to Tristan.
Yeah, Tristan took his job, man. Tristan took his job. But listen, though, we'll see what happens. John, here's the one thing I want to say to you, and I'm telling everybody who's calling in and giving their prediction, make sure you follow up with us because people like to throw these crazy predictions out there, and then when it doesn't come true, they disappear. And we will stalk you on social media. We will stalk you on social media.
I'm a defensive-minded thinking fan, and I don't see nobody with Golden State. Golden State defense is just going to be too much for Cleveland. I'm just being honest. Okay. Everyone looked at that Atlanta Hawks game and said, "Oh, well, look what Cleveland did Atlanta." Let's not forget the Wizards could have had Atlanta if John Wall in there. Atlanta wasn't as strong to the get-go.
This is true, but you know, we'll see. Your team, light skin. We got you on the record, John. But John, listen, thanks for the call as always, man. Follow up with us next week, and we'll see what the series is then. All right, homie.
All right, bro. Y'all take care. Okay.
All right, take it easy.
John, drink a St. Ides for me.
Yeah, man. So basically, gentlemen, the finals is here. It starts within the next 2 hours. The one thing I just want to go on the record and say before we start breaking down things is I really don't care. I don't have a horse in the race, but the one reason I would like to see Cleveland win has nothing to do with LeBron. I want to see Earl J.R. Smith act a damn fool for my personal pleasure and to see how he goes off on social media. That right there is greater than any of those team likes. That right there will be so much entertainment for me.
Earl Smith has garnered a lot of support in the war room because though we are mature, late 20-something gentlemen, we appreciate an ignoramus, man. We can remember our high school and college days, and J.R. Smith won't let go of his. And on top of that, he's a very talented guy, man. J.R. Smith is capable of putting up 40 to 50 points in an NBA game. He's done it. He's done it. And so what JR are you going to get? What JR are you going to get? And this leads us into our analysis of the Golden State Warriors, the #1 seed versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jimmy, talk to us, man. Break it down.
All right. Well, here's the first thing I want to
What
ask
are the
both
keys
of you
to
gentlemen.
victory?
That's what I was going to ask you, because you said you brought up J.R. Smith and his ability to, either give you 30 or go 3 for 20. What are some of the keys to victories on both sides? I'm gonna start with you, Hank. What are some of the keys to victories on Cleveland side, as well as the key to victory on Golden State side?
The key to victory, I think, on Cleveland's side is for either Kyrie or Dellavedova to at least be able to slow down Steph Curry. People talked a lot about, Shumpert possibly playing Steph Curry or LeBron switching off to Steph Curry. But I think that Golden State has just so many weapons that you can't necessarily just hide Kyrie the way that they've been able to do against other teams. You put him on Klay Thompson, and the lazy defender that Kyrie is, or even the J.R. Smith, the lazy defender that he is, they're going to get lit up. You can't hide lazy defense against these teams. So Kyrie is going to have to do something to at least slow down Curry, and he's going to have to score points to at least make it a close matchup. I know it's not going to be even. He's not going to win the battle, but it has to be close.
What about on the other side? What about Golden State? What is Golden State's key?
About Golden State, Harrison Barnes is going to be the key. If they can get away with Harrison Barnes slowing down LeBron, making him work on defense as well, that's going to be huge for them. The thing is, they have a lot of people that they can throw at LeBron. You have a Draymond Green, but you really don't want to move him from that power forward spot. You want him to be putting pressure on Tristan Thompson and battling against him. You have a Klay Thompson, but you want him to be fresh on offense. You have Iguodala coming off the bench, but really the key is if you can,
they got so many weapons.
Hank,
they got so many weapons.
Keep going. Sean Livingston, you can throw at LeBron. Leandro Barbosa.
Exactly. They have a lot of people.
Yeah, you forget just how deep this damn team is.
If you can play him straight up. If you can play him straight up and not have to worry about a double team or not have to worry, and also make him work on defense, that's a huge key for them.
Now, one thing I want to say is this, man. When you just named all those players, man, at times you forget just how deep and talented this Golden State team is. So shout out to their GM for putting this team together. We know that he reads outsports.com, and that's part of the reason why Mark Jackson isn't there, because of their beef. The biblical beef with his alternative lifestyle, but he put a great team together. That team is extremely deep, Paul. And it's like, you forget that. So to me, it looks like it's the overall team versus the guy is supposed to be in his prime right now. And the key to victory is LeBron James, because if LeBron James, in order for the Cavaliers to win this series, is going to have a legend, wait for it, dairy series. He's going to have to play out of his mind in order for Cleveland to have a shot, because Golden State, in my opinion, is the far superior team. Doesn't mean they'll win, because, like I said, I've seen guys elevate themselves and their team to another level, and LeBron's going to have one of those performances for Cleveland to win. You guys mentioned it with Golden State. The key is, how do they defend LeBron James? Because Atlanta was so scared of LeBron that they allowed everyone and their mom to get open threes, open shots. They let Dellavedova, the goon, come in and do his thing. And shout out to Dellavedova anyway. My man's like a 6-foot goon out there taking people's hearts and whatnot, and also playing dirty to some people. But it's going to be an interesting series. It has to be better than the conference finals, because the conference finals, like I told someone earlier, like that was so bad. I'd rather watch a snuff film than to watch that ever again. So the finals has to be better than that. But at the end of the day, man, it's like Cleveland's key to victory is LeBron James, and Golden State's key to victory is how they defend LeBron James. I say let LeBron go for self and make sure you don't give those open threes, because the thing is, LeBron is so – and Doc Bay was talking about this, and he put up the point. He said LeBron – I was saying let LeBron score, and Doc Bay told me the thing about LeBron is he's so unselfish that you may try to let him score, and he's still not going to go for 40 or 50.
I think there's a few keys to this. There's 3 keys for each team, probably more than 3, but for the Cavs, It's getting scoring from the wings as well as the post. More people need to step up other than LeBron and Kyrie. LeBron is going to get his 30. Kyrie, even with a bum knee, which we'll talk about a little later, is still going to be able to get 20, I believe. So that's 50 points. The Warriors average 110 points per game. They only give their opponents 99 points per game. Cleveland averages 103, which means the Warriors are able to get to 115, 120 pretty easily. They score from so many different places. The backcourt gets all of the shine, but they've got scoring in the front court. They've got scoring off the bench. How do you account for that? How do you stop that? You know what I'm saying? So defensively, rebounding is going to be key for Cleveland, because let's face it, they have the potential to miss a lot of shots, and you rely heavily on Mozgov and, more importantly, Tristan Thompson to rebound. So cleaning the glass. Defensively, as Hank, you already pointed out, slowing down Curry is going to become key. And Dellavedova definitely has a way of slowing down Curry. He's shown you in the last few series. He can slow. Now, that may mean he'll never be able to play in the series if he ultimately tries to take Curry out. But he can slow him down.
State Farm is not having that.
When I look at this series for Cleveland, let me just be completely objective and say I think LeBron is about to go off. I think LeBron is going to put up 35 a game. I think LeBron is going to put Herculean effort out there. What else does Cleveland have? Because the Warriors go 9 deep. And when you look at that bench, all the guys that sit on their bench, rotation players that get minutes, they're not all-stars. They're not even stars, but all of them are starter quality players.
Man, so Iggy went to the All-Star game. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Iggy was an All-Star. Leandro Barbosa, who I think as a starter is a bum, but coming off the bench, he's good. Sean Livingston could start at the one for some folks. My man Spates, who is back from his calf injury, was third in voting for sixth man of the year. And Spates can give you 14 to 15 off that block. Well, let me ask you a quick
score on the block.
Do you think that the bright lights will have any effect on Golden State? Because we talked about the experience, but this is the NBA Finals. This is something different. Because all the attention's on you. There's only 2 teams left. We know LeBron James is the media darling, so there's going to be a lot of attention on you. Will the bright lights have any effect on Golden State whatsoever?
Yeah, I think both teams are going to come out.
I think both. I think both teams will have some challenges. Yeah, but ultimately they'll settle down by game 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and LeBron is known for coming out a little too hot in the first quarter of a big game. He comes out, he presses a little too hard. So I could see him pressing too hard, and I can also see Golden State, coming out, getting a bunch of dumb turnovers to start the game. But that only lasts for maybe the first half of a game. After that, it's just basketball, and it's going to come down to who's playing better.
Well, here is the $1 million question, right? We have a couple minutes left, and I want to get both of you gentlemen's opinion on this, because at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. How important is this series for LeBron's legacy, one way or the other? What happens to his legacy if he wins or if he loses? What's the impact on LeBron's legacy with this series? I'm gonna start with you, Hank.
This is huge for his legacy. People have thrown out that just making it here has been an achievement for him, and it is. I mean, taking his team to the finals is an achievement. But at the end of the day, we know who he's chasing. He's chasing the Jordans. He's chasing the Magics. He's chasing the Kobes. He's chasing the greats of all times. And, to have 4 finals losses on your record, that's going to keep you away from being able to be in that elite category. He's not getting younger. We've already seen from this season that, he's starting to have those little nagging injuries and starting to need a little bit more rest. The years of him just being he
wasn't injured. He just took a vacation.
Yeah, but he needed that vacation for the first time in his career. So these years of him being that just physical phenomenon that can just take over games whenever he wants to are starting to dwindle. So he needs this because we don't know when he's going to be back. I mean, let's be honest. Besides Golden State, there were a few other teams that, due to injuries, weren't here to compete against them this year. I mean, I still say if Oklahoma had, their full team coming into these playoffs, they were going to be my favorite to win.
Yeah.
So this is big. If he wins, like we said, win one in Cleveland, that's 3 anywhere else. But if you lose, it's going to be held against you. There is no grace period on this. People are saying that it's okay, but it's not.
Yeah, here's the thing about it. Like, you making it to the finals isn't a great accomplishment. Magic Johnson went to the finals 9 times. Now, he's won 5, but he also lost 4. But the difference between Magic Johnson losing 4 and LeBron losing 4 is Magic, the 4 series he lost was one to the 82-83 Sixers. He lost one to the 86-87, like the Celtics. He lost one to the Pistons, and he lost one to Mike. He lost his 4 titles to arguably 4 of the greatest NBA teams to ever exist. Not the fly-by-night Mavericks. Now the Spurs were an amazing organization because they beat LeBron in what, the other 2? Wasn't it the Spurs who beat him both times?
Yeah, they beat him the other 2.
Okay, so they beat him the other 2.
On the first one because he was a young kid learning how to go to the finals. I give him the pass on the first one.
Yeah,
but after that,
I give him an excuse on the first one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's a difference. There's a difference between because even Isaiah lost a couple, but Isaiah lost his finals to arguably one of the best teams ever. Like, there's nothing wrong with making it to the finals and losing, but there's a difference when you look at the great players and even a Dr. J. Dr. J, when he lost the finals, well, he did lose the one against the Portland Trailblazers, who's arguably one of the greatest all-around teams. But then the Lakers, when you look at LeBron,
I'm gonna simplify it.
There's really no excuse.
No, go ahead, Jimmy.
In my opinion,
I'm gonna simplify.
Being 3 and 3 is a lot different than 2 and 4. That's very simple. Just that simple.
Yeah. I was about to say I'm actually gonna simplify it, and when you do a show with someone for 5 years, y'all begin to think alike. I was going to simplify it as well and say point blank, right now he's lost 2. I mean, he's won 2 and he's lost 3. And it doesn't matter who he's lost to. The fact is that he gets there and he loses more than he wins. And so if he has 2 wins and 4 losses, like you brought up Magic, like you can say Magic lost 4 times and you can weigh that out or argue that point. But he won 5. So he won in the finals more than he lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jordan got to the finals and never lost. So LeBron's got a steeper hill to climb, the fact that he has lost all these. And if he is 2 and 4 in the finals, that's damaging to the stature that he's looking to accomplish. Greatest of all time, be among the greats of all time. Can't get to the big show and have the excuses of injury or have this excuse or that excuse.
And now the thing is though, winning 3 though. Now if he wins 1 in Cleveland, we all made the joke that that's 3 anywhere else. But that does do something powerful for his legacy too, because now he's won in 2 different places. And I don't know if any other player that we put at that table, so to speak, has won in multiple. I mean, maybe Wilt has won in 2 places, but other than that, I mean, Shaq has 2. Yeah. Damn, Kareem did. Kareem was the man.
Wait, hold on, Jimmy. Jimmy.
This is the first.
Hold on. What if he loses? What if he loses here? What if he loses and goes 2 and 4, but he wins later on and he's 3 and 4? Does that winning in Cleveland does that change something for you? Because
for some people, it will.
If he wins,
but I don't know.
For me, if he wins next year, and it's still without debate his team, then we could talk about it, being a legacy. But if he wins 4 years later and Kyrie's carrying the team, nah.
Yeah, I get your point. Winning in Cleveland is so important because of where he's from, his overall legacy, the thing of leaving, coming back, that story, which is why my final pick, I'm going to get you guys' final pick because we got to go. My final pick is Cleveland in 6 because I think it's fixed. B. Austin, what's your pick? Let's go.
Warriors in 6.
Hank, what's your pick?
Come on, I'm Billy Beige, man. Team light skin all day.
Ha! Don't wake me. All right, thanks for joining us again. The
Power Generation.
Shout out to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter. All the calls we had, we appreciate it. We appreciate the support. Special thanks to Hank, a.k.a. Billy Beige, for co-hosting with us. Also, special thanks to Fred Perdue for joining us to talk college football. Tune in next week, same time, same place, live right here, or on demand on WRS Podcast Network for more great sports talk. We'll be talking NBA Finals next week and much more. So until then, enjoy your week. Come back next week. Catch all of our conversations on Facebook and Twitter. That's at War Room Sports. All of our blogs, webcasts, network, everything. WarRoomSports.com. Just go to WarRoomSports.com to see everything we're doing. Until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance, and we shall see you chumps on top.
6 to 8. Yeah. War Room Sports. Y'all ready? Let's go. Stay in tune to Jimmy. Know the blueprint. Yo. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-1400-12. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Yeah. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like Magic in the box course. Listen live, push 1 to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip-hop scholars, tip-stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dad, DJ, Jack Beck, B. Austin. I'm Jack. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports. www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.